Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we just finished kicking the Soviets out of Argentina, and that was truly glorious. However, we're not done yet. So I'm going to actually have these guys stop patrolling these locations where they are. I think that the most important thing right now is that we make sure that we have this location up here under our control. Now that's out of our naval range. So that's not tremendously helpful, is it? So instead of going up there, we are, for now, going to chill just here. We're going to continue to hold this location. With this being held, unless they go through the Panama Canal, there is no way for the Soviets to make it over to the Atlantic. I don't know if the US would allow them through the Panama Canal or not. I guess we'll find that out. Now, I also want to hop into our construction here, and we no longer need these 3 anti-air guns, or these 5 anti-air guns, so we will cancel those. Fantastic. I do, however, want to begin constructing an airbase up here in the Amazon as soon as possible. And the reason for that is fairly obvious. This is our northmost airbase right here, and it's only a level 1 airbase. It's not particularly helpful to us. I would rather have one in the Amazon. So let's go ahead and get that rolling in. We are, of course, also working on the infrastructure in Santa Cruz, and we did just get an infantry division that will go into the Coast Guard. We will eventually want to have an East Coast Guard and a West Coast Guard, but for now this will do. We do need naval strike tactics to be replaced, and we're going to go for... see here, these are mutually exclusive. Okay, we probably want to go for the air superiority, I think. So we'll do that, and we'll go ahead and spend our experience to make that go faster. Wonderful. Now, what's going on here? Improving relations with multiple... okay, we're almost done justifying on Colombia. We should, in theory, be able to crush Colombia extremely quickly. Now, these guys, they're going to have their offensive line being just the Colombian coast. Like that. That's going to be their plan. As far as these guys go, their plan is going to, of course, be... this'll do, I suppose. Something along the lines of that. Actually, I hate it, and I'm going to delete it. Because I want their offensive line to simply be this coast over here. Okay. So that'll do the trick there, and they can start preparing for those plans. Wonderful. We can modify our government, and that's something we probably should do. Ace generation chance, or naval AA attack. Or we could do... we don't have any carriers, so there's that. I wouldn't necessarily mind grabbing the decisive battle expert. I think that'll be fine. Well, we're going up in our fuel. That's nice. Improved Anti-Air Upgrade 1 has finished, and I would like to grab Improved Anti-Air Upgrade 2. So we'll go ahead and grab that one as well. Fantastic. The Fall of Pearl Harbor. Whoa, hang on. Whoa. Japanese forces have stormed and taken Honolulu, the largest city on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. The naval base at Pearl Harbor, former headquarters of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, has also fallen. According to witnesses, beleaguered American sailors and Marines retreated to Ford Island, where they continued to offer stubborn resistance until they were subjected to an intense artillery and serial bombardment. Aerial, actually. A serial bombardment, I mean, it's just like one shell after another, I suppose? That would be a serial bombardment. Or they're bombarding them with Lucky Charms. That's the other option there. With this island under its control, the long reach of the Imperial Japanese Navy has become greater still. That is actually a significant development. Japan is doing very well, and the US isn't really focusing on them right now. They're attacking Germany, and honestly, they're not doing as well there as we might hope. I do want to attack Peru at some point. The problem here, of course, is we're going to need to eventually be at war with the Axis for Peru, and the allies for these locations up here. Which means that we're going to be in conflict with all 3 major factions simultaneously. This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing at all. Whoa, that zoom was really fast. Way faster than normal. Okay. It seems to be back to normal now. So we can conquer over here, and so we shall. We're going to declare war. They should join the Comintern here. These guys are going to execute their plan. And yeah, that should be fine, in theory. Yep, they joined the Comintern. That was expected. We can't really stop the Soviets from supplying troops up here unless, well, they do have to go through the Panama Canal. I'm not sure if the US will allow that or not. Regardless, we're going to push into Colombia pretty quickly and easily, I think. I don't think it'll be a big deal. Unfortunately, we don't really have our air forces up here just yet. It'll... Where did that force get, or that base get built at? Ah, here. Okay, that's not necessarily the best location for it. We're going to select these wings, and we're going to move them up here. And we'll see how effective they actually are. They might be able to reach where we need them to. So we'll deposit them up over here. And yeah, this is too many. There's no doubt about it. These guys are going to... Actually, we'll need to wait for these others to arrive. Okay. So, our fighters here. That's an interesting range that they've got there. Let's get some air superiority rolling in, and these bombers, they are going to work on strategic bombing. They've got good range for it. Okay. Now, we can't actually run all of these airplanes, right? But that's okay. That will continue to get advanced. And as far as our actual supplies go over here, our logistics, what is our bottleneck here? That's still in Santa Cruz. How are we doing on that construction? That'll be done in 10 December 1944. So 3 days, and that'll start coming up. So that's good. I think we've already seen gains here, haven't we? No, we have not seen gains here yet. But I believe we're about to. Yeah, we will quite shortly, I think. That's wonderful. And if we look at our logistics here, we're actually positive in our infantry equipment right now. We're positive in everything. So that is wonderful. I'm very, very happy to see that. So we should be able to attack in over here. Of course, fighting in the jungle is always complicated and slow. So there's that. As far as Venezuela goes, how long would this take? 25 days. Okay. We're not going to do that yet. I don't foresee Colombia falling in 25 days. Excellent. And we definitely want a wider front against Venezuela with the number of troops they have. Now, we don't know how many troops Colombia has here. But it does look like we are winning this, and that is fantastic. It keeps saying our manpower is low, but we've got 500k. Like, our manpower is coming up dramatically. Which is a little strange. And we're still mobilizing, actually. So that's fine. That's completely fine. So we're going to move up over here, and we will definitely make sure that Venezuela is under our control in a little while here. I wouldn't mind fighting Panama, except for that whole United States thing there. Also, note that the United States is out over here and has substantial holdings in the Caribbean now. This is all United States holdings over here. So that's interesting to note. Very interesting indeed. The question is, are we going to, like, invade the Soviet Union at some point? I don't know. We might attempt that later on. Now, we're not currently at war with Japan. I don't think that's gonna last, if I'm honest. Did we get our punch through here? Yes, we did. Fantastic. So as soon as we actually arrive over here... Oh, we punched through down here, too. That's great. This is not shocking, of course. We don't expect Colombia to really be able to hold us off very functionally. Now, our fuel is actually gaining right now, and that's wonderful. Let's go ahead and grab another group of steel from the US. I like how our war machine is being built by United States Steel, who are going to be our enemy. That's absolutely wonderful. So Amazonas is going to be completing more airbase stuff soon enough. We are up to 782 out of 600 airplanes, so it's good that we're getting another level in there. It's going to need to happen. Unfortunately, this is currently not constructing, right? That's definitely not great. And if we look at this, there's nothing else that we can queue up here, so that's fine. I think at this point, this airbase is probably of lesser importance. So I'm going to bring this down to probably after these military factories, like that. Now, let's check our logistics over here. Perfect. That's what we were hoping for, right there. We've got some nice breakthrough going on in Colombia here. Now, getting up into these mountains is going to be a bit tricky. I think that there's absolutely no doubt about that one. So we're going to have to be a bit careful of that. But as soon as Bogota falls, I think they capitulate. Did they join the Comintern? Yes, they did. Okay, so we are expecting at some point some Soviet troops to show up then, most likely. Of course, we know what happened to the Soviet troops last time they showed up, but this time we don't have the option of a naval invasion. That said, we are actually substantially more powerful at this point. We captured all of those infantry equipment, so we're doing fine. We, of course, bulked up our troop counts, and that definitely hurt our infantry equipment as we were attempting to move in. They want to lend-lease us a tactical bomber, and I accept. Fuel refining has finished up. We want to continue heading down that tree. Fuel refining 2. Actually, that's 3. Perfect. We're going to need more fuel. There's no doubt about that. And we are working on constructing another few fuel refineries, but we're probably going to want more than what we've got here. So it looks like we're going to push them back to the mountains fairly easily here, all things considered. It's a full-on artillery template. Wow. Like, they have full artillery divisions. That's kind of insane. In fact, they have 14 of their divisions are artillery templates. Wow. Okay. Slightly bonkers, but whatever, I suppose. We're actually losing this attack here, but they can't keep this up. Especially not with these guys in retreat. We're going to push in over here. Improved decimetric radar, that's great. And we are going to then grab centimetric radar? Sure. That's going to be useful for us. And these guys are just moving about. They did manage to move some artillery in here, but that artillery is going to get pushed out quite quickly, I think. They have a lot of artillery. Like, a whole lot of artillery. And I'm not sure exactly what they were planning on doing with that artillery, if I'm honest. I'm going to move these 2 tank brigades, these 3 tank brigades, into this army. And I'm going to move these 3 infantry divisions into this army. Okay. So we're going to move our tanks over here, and the tanks breakthrough should help us in pushing in. That'll be fine. This is, of course, all infantry over here now. And this is mostly infantry, but 3 units of heavy tank. We no longer get the effects from nationalism. Sure. Soviet Union has called Colombia as our enemy in the Germany Soviet War. Greater Hungary has called Venezuela as our ally in a Hungarian war. Did these guys join the Axis? Yes, they did. Okay, so Venezuela and Peru are both members of the Axis. And I'm strongly considering attacking the Axis. We can kill Ecuador first. Panama we kind of can't do. So that's going to be a potential issue. Ah, Venezuela is fighting Colombia. That isn't necessarily good for us. Okay. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It kind of depends on how that war plays out. That'll certainly be interesting. Ah, Venezuela's attacking over here. This is good for us. If Colombia falls to Venezuela, that is actually a good thing for us. Yeah. I'm okay with this. Especially if they take this territory over here. That went to the German Reich. Not ideal. But it'll do. Yeah, I'm reasonably okay with this development, actually. They're attacking the Colombian capital right now. We're taking what territory we can from Colombia and trying to cut off Venezuela from Ecuador. That's going to be pretty important to us. That said, Peru is on the border of Ecuador and could go for attacking them. But no, I'm completely content with what's happening here, I think. Venezuela is going to take Colombia quite soon here. Yeah. Yep, their capital just fell. Colombia will capitulate pretty soon. Venezuela has a lot of troops up here. Peru has a lot of troops as well. Okay, Colombia just capitulated. Okay. So, we need to think about how we want to handle this new situation. So, we are not currently at war with the Axis. We don't have borders with Ecuador. So we're assuming that Venezuela is going to take this, right? That's the assumption. And that does appear to be the case. Is Venezuela going to declare on us? Possibly. So I'm going to put these guys in front of Peru and these guys in front of Venezuela, but I feel like we're going to be stretched pretty thin here. This will allow us to make it look like we're on the side of the Allies while not actually joining the Allies, though. That's the idea here. Okay, so we're continuing to work on construction over here. And let's see what we can get for infrastructure. We can get some infrastructure queued in these locations, and that will be good things to do. Okay. And can we get any factories built? The answer is no. Okay. Well, we did get a state out of that. These guys are not really in position just yet. And they will be eventually. Okay. This is an infantry division. We're putting them into our Coast Guard unit. The Coast Guard unit... Actually, no. Don't do that. Just go where you're going to go. Okay. The Coast Guard unit should probably be given area defense here and here as well. Like that. There's resistance to occupation going on, and... oh yeah, you'll be killed if not rescued. That's okay. We want to root out some resistance, I think, here. Okay, so we'll get him working on that. We will eventually run out of fuel. This is expected. Okay, so we're continuing to patrol down here with our ships, in theory. Right? Oh, you're not actually patrolling. Get down there. There we go. Now we're going to run out of fuel very quickly. It's expected. Non-aggression pact with Venezuela. I decline. This is an unacceptable state of affairs, and we will be joining with our future enemies, the Americans, in order to go after Venezuela and Peru. Both of those will, of course, be necessary. So yeah, this will be fine. I mean, our minimum defense here is... minimum number of divisions is 95. So they're not going to be super effective at defending this, but they'll be okay. So we're still aligning over here. That's still in progress. These guys are still getting in position as well. And that's fine. Do we think we can actually beat them? 2-12. Compare that to our 20. So our divisions are worth like double what their divisions are. What about these guys? I want to find a single unit if I can. I mean, there's this cavalry division. Not tremendously useful. 3-63. Okay. Our intel isn't the best there. Ooh, hello. 3-19. So our divisions are probably better than Peru's as well. We need to keep in mind that we will be fighting both simultaneously. So we're going to be doing something like that. And then this offensive line will be something like just running to the coast here. Take this whole coast. I kind of hate it, in all honesty, but I guess it'll do. And then there's this over here. Now, Free France will likely... Actually, there are American troops over here now. Let's start our justification. Yeah. That's not what we want. We don't want Americans on our border. So we're going to do something like this. How do we want to play that? Hope the Americans get pushed out? I mean, they might. In theory. They don't have supplies. So that's good to know. Like, no supplies whatsoever right now. We're also going to take some steel from them. There we go. I would expect that they're going to stop their push here and get pushed out pretty soon. Because they are running out of supplies. They have to be. As far as this over here, this is supplied, but not very much. Not very much at all. So we're getting into position here. And this war is going to be very interesting, for sure. The Allies have taken notice of what's going on down here, that's pretty clear. And shifted a few troops over. A little unfortunate, they had ignored Peru, but apparently Venezuela was too close to the United States up here. Yeah, there the US is getting pushed out. This is good. Now, they do have some supply throughput over here now. The Netherlands has picked this area up. But I'm not sure if that's enough supply to hold out. Especially if they get pushed out over here. So we are aligning over here and preparing. And this will put us at war with the entire Axis. That does bear noting. But the Axis is kind of losing at this point, I would argue. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, the US is getting pushed back here. This is good for us. This is very good. The Dominion of India just capitulated to Japan. Oh my. Well, the US really needs to focus on Japan. Like, really badly. So that is a thing. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode we are probably going to cast our lot against the Axis. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. I will see you all next time.